All right, my friend. We are minutes from October 1st. The wind is blowing. We got freaking pine needles fucking falling on us. And now you have been mentioning to me, and I didn't notice this, but now that you pointed it out to me, I see it. I am a believer, right? With these cloud formations, these weird ass formations of clouds, like the lines, particularly like the lines, right? Not just horizontal, but like vertical coming out of like this they're doing something with the clouds. Okay, now of course, like I said, this channel is all about malinformation. We want to give info out to hurt people because we're just evil crackers, right?
It's not enough to be misleading. We have to be harmful
We
as
have
well.
we're harmful. We're undermining the public trust. Do you remember that? Remember the public trust? It was a sacred thing all throughout our lives. Apparently, I never heard of the damn thing, but whatever, we're apparently undermining that thing.
Now, maybe it was on your Italian planet that you
Oh,
came from, but it wasn't on my Irish planet.
Irish, half Italian. So, he used to say it. Howard Stern used to say, "I'm half Italian." So, anyway, but yeah, but like you pointed out, and I am a believer. I am totally a believer. I'm like, they are doing something to the clouds. Now, and of course, the normie, response is, well, why would they do that, Sargon? And it's like, one of the things I'm starting to really care about less and less as I get older is the why. Okay, because some jerk off will be like, well, why would they do that? Who gives a fuck why they would do that? Okay, why? Because they're fucking asshole, evil bastards. That's why. Are you getting it yet? All right. Sorry, but you get what I'm saying. I'm emphasizing this for a reason. So, all right. So now, in case anyone in the audience maybe has not noticed this, what are you seeing?
Well, what did that look like to you yesterday when I pointed up when we were out by the dumpster? What did it look like to you?
It looked like like old technical drawing in high school with the lines coming out of either side of the sun in terms of the clouds. Like I don't know what to call it, like a weird kind of line gradation in the clouds, which is horizontal, vertical. I've never seen this in my entire bloody life. Okay.
Well, for what, if you pay attention around population areas, I did have a pilot in LA point this out to me. He said he's only seeing this type of formation over population centers, and it's a lot higher than you probably think it is if you're a normal terrestrial like me. Uh, the in this area, it's different. You have these pretty wide, long valleys that are bracketed by these like low Sugarloaf Mountains in this part of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Um, and what you'll see here is on the horizon, and you'll see it every day, you'll just see lines start. There'll
Yeah.
be a gray line and then kind of like an almost white line and then a gray line, and they'll alternate like that. Um, it'll be different in places like Baltimore and Pittsburgh, right by bodies of water where there's, in Pittsburgh, you got the rivers and the steep elevation change. Down in Baltimore, you have a lot of wind. Those are Pittsburgh's the beginning of the Ohio Valley.
Yeah.
So places where you get a lot of dynamic winds, uh, you'll see these lines high up and they'll be separated. And then on the horizon, you'll just see clouds that stay there all around. Where my whole life in the Baltimore area, you see the clouds blowing up from the south, coming
Yeah.
up the coast,
Yeah.
like every day in a cycle. Now it's one newscaster in Baltimore said, "Why does Baltimore have Seattle skies?" And he was trying to explain it. Newscasts for the weather are not only not accurate per the day, but they're not accurate per the hour.
I know
and you'll
that.
see they'll
That's
be
another
continuously
thing.
updated.
That's another thing I
every
noticed.
hour.
Yeah, they connect. Now there's no like the weather changes every hour of what it's gonna be.
Right. So I don't understand this at all. I asked Bob about it when I got out to Utah. I first noticed this uh, in April when I was coming east, that there were really strange clouds that I hadn't seen in Texas, but I hadn't been in Texas before. But then I got to St. Louis, a place I had been before, and I was like, wow, these clouds, this looks like the kind of stuff that happens in Portland and Seattle.
Right. Well,
And then in Chicago, I see the same thing. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, I see the same thing. And I mentioned it to my webmaster, Charles, and he's like, yeah, this is like happening all around the country, and this stuff is manufactured. So when I got to Utah, uh, when I went west again, I noticed all the same things. And then it kind of petered out in San Jose. Well, one of the things you'll see is these like ink clouds. They look like ink blotches in the sky.
Yeah, dude.
Are just hanging there, which I never saw that stuff before.
Me neither.
And then once those lines are drawn over top, you'll see these clouds sometimes swirl out of those lines, sometimes just appear below them, and then that inky cloud will end up becoming the underside of like this big like fairy tale cloud. But when I go through to Nevada, all this stuff goes away. In Utah, I don't see any of it. So I asked Bob, the guy I stay with in Utah.
Oh, Utah, don't say Utah.
Okay, he has a cloud seeding machine in his backyard. And I've known this for years because I asked him, I was like, what is that propane tank and like the giant Bunsen burner in your yard? He's like, well, it's cloud seeding. Well, I told some people back east about this numerous years, and they're like, yeah, that's BS. That doesn't exist. There's no such thing
Not
as
me.
cloud
I didn't
seeding.
say that.
No, it wasn't you.
Right.
But they're like, no, like really, this guy gets paid like, he gets a call from like this weather station in Texas, and they say, fire it up.
Fire it up, yup.
And then he gets a $10 check in the mail.
Good.
So
that's it, dog.
So I asked, yeah, but it doesn't cost them anything. It just goes outside.
Yeah.
It's something they give to like people that are like retired people that worked in the trades and kind of understand mechanics a little bit. Like the kind of people who know if the machine isn't working right. He said, so I asked him, I said, finally explain this thing to me. And what about these weird clouds I'm seeing in other parts of the country? Of course, he hadn't seen them out there in Utah. This guy's been looking at the skies as an outdoorsman his whole life. He said that there are 5 of these cloud seeding machines in the valley he lives in, and they're at the mouths of canyons because the clouds come up from Mexico and the Pacific, and they build in the Rocky Mountains. So they'll gather moisture, they'll go up into these canyons, and then every day you'll see the clouds build. Lots of times nothing happens with them, but sometimes you get rain out of them. They get most of their water from snow in the winter. So he said this device uses propane as a fuel, and I think it's silicon dioxide or copper dioxide. And it just lights up, and this gas goes up in the atmosphere. He said by law in Utah, you're not allowed to fire this thing up unless it's 28 degrees or less. It cannot be fired up before November 1st. It is used to increase snowfall.
Oh yeah,
it was invented by the brother of Kurt Vonnegut, who was a chemist.
What? Don't say that.
Okay, so
are you serious?
This is what I've been told. And he said
another thing, Vonnegut.
He said there's also a mobile one that's automated that does it on its own. In fact, he told me that they're supposed to stop it when they get to 150% of median snowpack up in the mountains. Well, a couple winters ago, they said keep going.
Oh.
and they went to like 200%, and then they cut it off. And it's about getting more snow so you can refill the reservoirs.
Right, yeah,
in case
exactly.
we
You
drought.
want for the water,
Well,
right.
These things work so good that Colorado, sometime back, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 years, ended up suing Utah
What?
for stealing its snow for its ski
Oh,
resorts,
hell no.
because apparently the wind goes from Utah to Colorado, and the boys in Utah were seeding the clouds, and the clouds were dropping all their snow over Utah instead of over Colorado. Okay, so there's actual laws in place that regulate cloud seeding. Now, my webmaster Charles, he's got a tag on the site called Sky News. He follows this stuff. I really have no idea what this stuff is about, but I have plenty of time to watch the skies, particularly when I'm on the train. Now, Bob did give me a Peterson's Field Guide to clouds, the kind of thing you need if you're a hunting guide, so you don't die in a blizzard like in August, okay? And I was surprised to find out that some of these clouds that I had never seen before in my life are actually already in this field guide. I was taught that there was cumulus, cirrus, and nimbus clouds.
I remember that too.
No, but there's like 20 kinds of clouds.
Yeah, it is.
So
These ain't no nimbulus, cumulus.
There's a lot more types of clouds that are more rare and more regional. There's certain types of clouds that just form over mountains of a certain size. And I've seen some of these things in the West, and there's photographs in this manual. So after Bob showed me that, I was like, okay, these aren't new types of clouds, but I'm seeing them in places where I've never seen them before.
Yeah.
But the thing that is crazy is the lines.
And
what I've been seeing here is they don't turn into clouds. They just stay lines.
Yeah, they stay lines, right.
And you don't see the sun all day long.
No. It's it's global. It's climate change.
So that's
shut up.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just for our own safety, security, and protection.
Yeah. These people wanna wipe you out with floods. I mean, fuck that.
It's like Apollo gave Phaeton an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, you can literally see like a background being drawn in the morning. Most people don't have the time to look at the sky, and since most people, when it's daylight, are actually driving back and forth to work, if they looked at the sky, they would die in a horrible car accident.
Yeah.
So, myself as a pedestrian and a slacker mass transit unit user, I have plenty of time to observe the sky.
I admit that I did not notice any of this stuff until you pointed it out, but now I can't unsee it.
You couldn't have got this stuff by pre-automobile people. The fact that most people are spending their outdoor daylight time in automobiles operating them really accounts for the fact that almost nobody sees this stuff.
Yeah, well,
you basically got to be some kind of unemployed bum
to
have the time to
or you got to be a malinformation spreading or a professor, the professor.
I'm just professing curiosity. Okay.
How dare you? What are you, a Nazi with your curiosity?
For instance, I was taught my entire life that salt was bad for me.
Bad,
it was poison.
Yeah.
But it can't be, because it tastes good.
Yeah.
And it tastes even better with beer. So how could it possibly be poison?
Yeah, maybe some people got weed. My man got salt. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm with you, dude. I'm not playing. Like, I'm not making a joke or whatever. I see what he's saying, and it's like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. So,
and it goes along with the weird forest fires. So out west, you will be at a place that'll say such and such national or state forest.
Right.
And you're looking at a desert that's got like a couple of weeds in it. Okay, so the definition of a forest out west very often doesn't have anything to do with timber, how we would think of in the east.
Right.
It's basically a government designation that this is a reserve. you'll find some trees somewhere. But there is I've seen numerous forest fires from a distance out west. Some of them were actually started on purpose to try to clear out bad timber.
Remember all
that
the
was
smoke we
infected by
had?
beetles and stuff.
The smoke we had like 3 years ago, whatever.
Yeah, and there's been numerous anomalous forest fires, and one of them was recently in eastern Oregon on the east face of the Cascades, where it's dry. It's forest land, and there is actually timber there. And that timber is so dry that if somebody sees you flicking a cigarette butt at like a highway rest stop, there'll be a riot, because you could end up burning 1,000 acres with that's how dry this stuff is. So there's recently a forest fire because it's happening in forest territory in eastern Oregon, where the only things that are burning are houses and automobiles. And they're burning right next to these really dry evergreen trees that have a lot of turpentine and sap in them.
Yeah.
And those things aren't burning.
And
like the automobile right next to them is melting. Yeah. So I don't know what that's about.
Because the space laser was aimed at you.
Don't be picking on Brill Yates.
No, I wasn't. I'm not picking on Brill Yates. I'm picking on some other group, which I can't mention. Anyway, all right.
Or Sheckelberg.
Oh no! Oh, whoa! Slow down.
I didn't say that.
That's it. No, I didn't say that.
You're a ventriloquist.
No, I didn't.
I know. So you're reading that old novel.
No.
The bilingualist.
No.
Right?
They're good. They're good people. So, all right.
That was just for entertainment purposes.
That's for entertainment. If you're not entertaining, man, I don't know what to tell you. So,
malentertainment.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God! All right,